Listen,
Paul Revere?
it is pretty hard.
Or can you hear me now? Depends if you're a Mac Dre or Beastie Boy.
Yeah. I go Beasties. You got to give them the original. Beastie Boys. This is Beastie Boys. You got to give them their love. Whenever I hear this beat, I don't think Mac Dre at all.
Can you hear me now?
I can, but
Can you hear me now?
Does anyone really have a choice?
By the way, for being a guy who likes to yell at Joe Shasky and hate on him, I did tell Bob Myers during the break last week on NBC Sports Bay Area, hey, by the way, Shasky he's the one that panics and he says hi. I did do that. See, I do that stuff. I don't make it about myself. I give love to my partner in crime here. I don't get no props for that. No props. It's a cold game. Anthony Slater, he'll give you some props at 8 o'clock. We'll talk some Dolphins, Bills.
Congratulations.
Talk some Golden State Warriors, and we'll talk to your boy, David Sampson. David Sampson. Is he the Mike Florio of baseball?
Oh, Florio. I don't want to get into that.
You guys are buddies now, right?
Well, so last week we had him on. I'll say this honestly. We had him on, and I told a joke, and maybe I went one joke too far because we teased each other a lot. We were in a good mood, goofing around, and maybe he felt that I disrespected him, and I felt bad. And upon reflection, and then I listened back to my little joke at the end. I said, you know what? I don't really know him like that, so let me reach out and apologize. And I got his number from Sam, and I sent him a text. He has not responded.
He left you on red.
I said what I said.
But you know what? I tried to be the big, not the bigger man. I tried to be a straightforward and candid, and I tried to apologize. And whether he wants to accept it or not, that's up to him.
You know what?
I felt bad though.
No, he should. I watched that clip back, and I guess it made the rounds on Twitter too. Actually, a lot of people had your back there. So you should feel proud. You didn't do anything bad. Don't feel bad, Shasky. Honestly, don't feel bad.
Well, I just
you shot the local shot. You're on fire right now. You've just had a 7-game stretch where you've averaged 32 points a game. You're shooting 48% from the 3-point line and 55% from the field.
Well, if we're being
you're
honest,
feeling yourself.
I mean, if we're just letting the audience know,
check.
Because there's a lot of people on the YouTube chat crushing me this morning, and this is what I would say to them: we are the defending champs.
And that's why I
don't think people realize that we are. Like, this show is the defending champs of this market.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's what we are right now, currently. Now we're in year 2, so we'll see, or year 3, or whatever the hell it is. We'll see where we go from here.
Trust me, I got the Jerry Rice Pro Bowl jersey on. I've been off a couple days. Don't make me get arrogant on YouTube.
Please tell the chat.
Don't make me get arrogant on the YouTube chat.
The numbers
or the
are the
airways.
numbers. They speak for themselves.
They do speak for themselves. You're right. I'll get in the YouTube chat during the break. I'll let you guys know what's up. The Golden State Warriors. I still believe it's going to be tough for a Western Conference team to beat them 4 times in a series. And here's where I'm at, Shasky.
I agree with that.
Here's where I'm at.
But I do think it's going to be very difficult to get to one of those spots.
Very hard.
That's where I'm trying to be like.
Very hard.
And they're an older team.
There's no back-to-backs.
Yeah.
My thing is this. You do owe the core of Draymond, Clay, and Steph one chance to get knocked out in the Western Conference playoffs under Steve Kerr.
That I agree
They've
with.
never lost a Western Conference series under Steve Kerr. I think you owe it to them to play the string out. You owe it to them. So no drastic trades whatsoever. I see a lot of people, they were tweeting me last, oh, man, you got to do this guy, trade this. No. Keep them. I have to keep Jonathan Kuminga.
I agree with that. Well, I need him healthy, too.
I need him. He should be back on the road trip.
Good, because they really miss his athleticism and his versatility and his toughness.
We know this training staff now with Rick Celebrity and company. They like to play things slow. They like to be cautious. All right, he'll be back at some point on the road trip, thank God, because he's a guy who can get to the free throw line, get easy buckets, and flush it down over somebody's head. He'll flush it on you. He'll dunk on your head. They got to get some. Jordan Poole's got to be the guy I saw in the third quarter, fourth quarter is the guy I need all game long. Jordan Poole, he needs to be empowered to say, as soon as you come into the game, you are instant offense. Go out there and cook, young man.
Can we just agree on this when it comes to Jordan Poole? Yes, what you said is absolutely true. The consistency, putting your imprint on the game on a nightly basis is there's no doubt. Can we also agree? I feel like he gets a disproportionate amount of blame from the fans when in reality, he's one of the few guys who brings it every single night in terms of being on the floor, available, healthy, and you look up, and I know he's not going to be great every night, but the stats are there. Like, if you just look at it, he is one of the most reliable players on the team.
Do you know what? I do
But
agree with that.
consistency, he needs to be better. I agree.
We made a huge deal about the turnovers. He has the ball in his hands. He's learning
It's
how to lead a
hard.
team in his 4th year.
Yes.
He's still improving. These games that he's just had is a learning experience for him. This is good for his future. So I got no beef. I've never had any beef with Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole's going to be a fine player. I'm glad they gave him the money. I think he's worth the money.
He's
and he
still
will be
growing.
worth the money. He is growing. But the same thing you just said about Jordan Poole is the same thing I could say about Klay Thompson.
Agreed.
We as a fan base. Now, I get it. They're 20 and 21. I'm not going to tell anybody to relax this morning. You want to panic? You want to say this team isn't good enough? I'm not here to stop you.
Yes.
Last night, I was embarrassed. I was at a loss for words through 3/4 of that basketball game.
I was frustrated.
I was very, very frustrated. To go out and be 5-3 on that homestand after winning the first 5 on that 8-game homestand, it left a bad taste in my mouth. But Klay Thompson, I mean, for being a 4-time champ, for going out there battling, because he was the only guy to me in the first 2 quarters of that game, first 3 quarters, who wanted to win that basketball game.
Yeah.
He was playing hard. Sure, he forced some shots, but nobody else was shooting.
He was going at it. And clearly he has a thing against Phoenix.
Oh, yeah, because they're chirping.
And,
they're front
and Mikal
runners.
Bridges, to be honest, that block on him, Mikal and him were going back and forth.
They're going back and forth.
I was like, ugh.
Bridges is a good player.
No,
He's a
Bridges
solid
is
player.
an excellent
He's an
player.
excellent two-way player.
He's an excellent
But they're
player.
talking. They're lifting their
I really
weights.
like Mikal
And
Bridges.
there's some front runners going out. But you lose to a Phoenix team that lost 9 of their last 10 coming into last night. But a lot of stuff with Klay. People are ready to jump off the ship 20 games in.
Yeah.
And just like, bitch, Klay, we got to be patient here. And we got to be loyal to Klay Thompson. This is Klay Thompson. Out of all the people to be loyal to in this market, a guy who's had big-time injuries, who's provided us with some of the more iconic moments, and not just basketball, Bay Area sports history. I'm talking just Bay Area sports, football, baseball, hockey, all that stuff. Got to be patient. Got to be patient. But somebody else has to step up. Can that guy be James Wiseman? And I try to go back to last season thinking, man, it was tough not having Wiseman because that development he could have got last season would have paid so many dividends this year. Who's going to be that other guy?
Well, I think it's like the chicken or the egg, though, because I look at the head coach. It feels like to me he's anti allowing a guy to develop from a raw ball of clay into something more formed on the court on his NBA team. Like, even if you look at like his infatuation with Anthony Lamb, who I think Anthony Lamb right now, if you're asking me, Joe, who's a more positive influence on the 2022-2023 Warriors, Iguodala on the court or Anthony Lamb? I'm probably going to lean Anthony Lamb.
Yeah. I can't be mad at that.
And I'm not hating on Iggy. I'm saying, like, hey, Anthony Lamb's done way more this year and I think has more left in the tank and can help this team more than Iggy. That's a wild statement. But why is Anthony Lamb playing? Because he is a more formed, finished product who can fit into a role that can help Steve Kerr. I don't think he likes playing people who are work in progress. Like,
yeah, he's a veteran guy.
Yeah,
he wants to go with veterans.
But look at the roster you've been handed the last 2 years.
I know.
I'm not saying you got to play all three guys simultaneously. What I'm saying is at some point you have to kind of bite the bullet and realize I got to give Kuminga extended minutes, even if he's making mistakes, even if it's going to hinder one night, because 6 months from now we're going to be a lot better and he's going to be a lot better.
You know, I see a lot of grades on Twitter, C-, C's, to your point about extended minutes for these youngsters. This is a discussion we've had, and I feel like we're going to have it for the rest of the season. Give the youngsters minutes, but now it may be too late. Now it may be too late because I thought the first, again, I'm going to repeat myself. We both agreed on this. The first 15 games, Steve Kerr should have said, Moody, Kuminga, Wiseman, you're getting 15 minutes no matter what. Just go play.
Well, and they lost those games anyway.
They lost
a lot of those games anyway, which obviously is hindsight.
But you lost the games with your veterans.
That was my point.
And the youngsters got all the play.
Yeah, exactly.
The youngsters got all the play in the first 20 games.
For their first minute and a half.
First minute and a half. Oh, man, the plus minus 15. Oh, man. Well, let some of the youngsters play. Like Kuminga, he's going to be better when he plays with Stephen Curry, Draymond Green. Let him play with some of the stars. Let Jordan Poole play with some of the stars. Let Wiseman play with some of the stars. Kerr blew that. So that's why if I had to give a grade to Steve Kerr, he'd get a C- for the roster management in the first 10 to 15 games. Those youngsters should have played.
For as dire as it feels, though, B, and this is where I'm so confused by this team. So for as dire as it feels, I also still believe, like, oh, man, you get into a 7-game series.
Nobody's beating them. I don't know if anybody could beat them 4 times in the West.
As long as they're healthy, right? They're healthy. And they're going to taper down their particular rotation. Because really, in the playoffs, it's 8. Like, that's the magic number.
8 to 9 with no back-to-back games.
8's the magic number, if we're being honest, in terms of rotation, right? So all this other stuff, like, that's a regular season problem. This team, though, in the regular season confuses the hell out of me because I look at the standings, I'm like, well, they're right there. But then I look at the form of how they're playing on a nighttime basis. I have no idea who's showing up.
Right. No idea. So I thought the roster management was handled poorly in the first 15 games. I'll just
in terms of minute allocation.
In terms of minute allocation for the youngsters,
yeah,
they should have been playing,
agree.
and they shouldn't have probably played together. You got to mix them up. Hey, Kuminga, you got to play this stretch with Steph and Clay. Hey, Wiseman, you're going to play this because like when Wiseman and Kuminga come back, this is what I want for the second unit. Forget the read and react offense. That second unit, I want Poole Wiseman or Poole Kuminga pick and rolls all day long. And the other guy, whether it's Kuminga or Wiseman, I want them in a dunker spot. And you just go pick and roll all day. Who's going to stop that?
I don't know.
And those are two guys who can get to the free throw line. They're the worst team in the league when it comes to attempting free throws and giving up free throws. They get no easy buckets.
Well, and they don't get any dunks. Like, I look at this.
No easy buckets, yeah.
Like they get no dunks. Like, I just look at this team as the athleticism has been waning year after year after year. And Wiggins brought a little back, like, of the athleticism.
He did.
And then Kuminga was such a shot in the arm for the 2-week stretch that he was playing well. They truly miss his athleticism. But Bonte, like, I'm looking at someone like JaMychal Green, for example. JaMychal Green feels like the odd man out, and I'm not like trying to pick on him. What I'm saying is he's not big enough to be a rim protector that they desperately need.
Right.
Okay, he's going to stand out on the corner. I got a bunch of guys that could stand on the corner and bomb a three. Like, I don't need that. So him and Moody, maybe it's Wiseman. Those are the guys that I'm saying, like right now, I think Anthony Lamb brings more to the table than JaMychal Green.
I agree 100%.
I can't believe I'm saying that, but that's where I'm at.
He's a guy who can hit a wide open three.
Well, and he competes at a harder level consistently.
And he understands how to play the game. He's
I like Anthony Lamb.
Yeah, he's playing well as a two-way guy. I've Warner Rose vibes, Warner Rose Juju.
I know, but I watch this guy. He plays with an energy that this team needs. He plays with something to prove, and I appreciate his effort.
He knows where to be on the floor.
Yes.
JaMychal Green, I don't know where he fits. I don't know where he fits.
And he's just inconsistent.
He is the odd man out. He is the odd man out for me. But that second unit, I'm going pick and roll heavy with that other guy in the dunker spot. Simplify the game for them. But again, when you blow it the first 10 games and you start off 3-7, now everything is like, all right, now we got to play veterans. We got to catch up. We got to get to 500.
Yeah.
We got to do this. We got to do that. It's too much, man. And last night, even in that rally in the fourth quarter, you got two guys who won't shoot. Draymond Green, when he's aggressive again, we did the numbers. When he scores at least 10, they win 80% of the games. But Iguodala, if he's not going to be out there shooting, and he's not going to shoot the wide open threes that's presented to him, well, the spacing's compromised now. And now you're forcing up threes. And now you're shooting with guys with hands in their face. How many times did Phoenix contest a shot yesterday? Felt like the Warriors didn't have any wide open shots to the last 6 minutes of the game.
Sarge, Washington, Bridges. I mean, they're all getting anything they wanted. Torrey Craig. Like, listen to these names we're saying. We're not talking about Tatum and Brown. We're talking about a bunch of
Dwayne Washington Jr.
He looked great.
Bismack Biyombo.
What do you have, 17?
Yeah. Bismack Biyombo. Who'd he dunk on? Was that Looney he dunked on?
How about Landale?
Oh, Jack Landale.
Whatever the heck his name is.
Landale.
Who got stiff is what I call him.
He is a big stiff, but he was getting points.
Hey, they gave him a bad whistle the fourth quarter.
Oh, yeah, the elbow on Wiggins.
Twice.
On the inside elbow, yeah. I kind of like that.
Josh Okogie, who's an afterthought now, who's a former lottery pick.
Wow, I remember that name.
I mean, Ish Wainwright played 14 minutes last night. Who the hell is Ish Wainwright?
No clue. Is he Wainwright's brother, the guy who pitches for the Cardinals?
Is he Ish Smith's cousin?
Ish Smith's cousin? I like that.
I like that a lot. I like that. Ish Smith, I believe Curry's boy back in the day in the AAU circuit in North Carolina. Listen.
That is incredible random knowledge.
To lose a game like that last night, and you're going on the road, you're 20-21. What's your grade for the Golden State Warriors? 888-957-9570. At the D?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
Because none of the youngsters are improving.
Except for Kuminga. We saw a little bit with Wiseman, but
if we're being honest, like he was good for a couple weeks. Like I want him good for months. You know what I mean? Like I expected a quantum leap forward. That was part of the talking all offseason. Whoa, wait till Kuminga next year and an expanded role and then I look at the veterans and I'm like, Clay's playing really good basketball right now. I think he's playing really. Draymond's had moments this year. Mm-hmm. Curry's been hurt, right, which sucks, but he's been awesome when he's been out there.
Curry's been awesome.
Wiggins has been hurt for the first time in his career, and he's missed a huge stretch of the season. Like, they've underperformed.
And Wiggins was playing like an all-star before he got hurt.
He was.
That was a big, big loss for the Warriors.
But these injuries...
But they were able to stay... They went 6-5 without Stephen Curry.
Which is crazy.
We thought maybe 4-7.
And they blew off a game.
Maybe 3-8. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
It's just unbelievable. You are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMG FM and HD1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. And do not forget that you can also watch us every single day on our YouTube and Twitch streams. Just log out and search 95.7 The Game. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel while you are there. It feels so damn good to be back here on the roast. 888-957-9570. Let's go to Alex in Atlanta. Alex, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Hey, guys. How's it going this morning? Bonte, welcome back.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. It's good. Good. What you got?
All right. So you guys always know that I like to drop you a random bit of stat knowledge every now and then.
Yeah, I love it.
And today one for the Warriors that's been concerning me the whole season is their over-reliance on threes. You guys talked about it a bit earlier in the show. They're shooting 43.4 three-pointers a game right now. Wow. And the reason I bring it up is going back to 1990. Roughly 80% of the time, the team that leads the league in three-point attempts for a regular season makes the playoffs. So that's at least a good sign, right? It's like hitting home runs in baseball. You're probably going to get into the tournament if you're leading the league in home runs. But when you narrow that down to teams that made the finals, only 4 times during that 33-year stretch does the team leading the league in three-point attempts even get to the NBA Finals, and only twice has a team won the championship. And you probably won't be able to guess who actually won the championship leading the league in threes. So, to your point, even if you get to the playoffs, if you're over-reliant on the three, you end up with tired legs. You end up worn out on the offensive end, so that compromises you on the defensive end. And you're usually not going to make it past the second round, just based on the statistics I was able to find.
Can I ask you a question?
So,
you said you might not be able to guess it. Was it either the early 90s, 94 or whatever, Rockets, or was it the Dallas Mavericks of 2010, 2011?
It was the Houston Rockets both times.
Look at me.
So
pretty good, huh?
95 are the only. Yeah, that was pretty good. You know what? Just for that, I'm going to buy another sweatshirt from the game shop site.
I love that, though.
I'm going to buy another one.
It's been 30 years since a team leading the league in attempts at three-point line has went, wow, that's a really good
That's
nugget.
crazy. And those Rockets teams with Kenny Smith, Vernon Maxwell, Robert Horry, of course, Sam Mario Ellie, Sam Cassell coming off the bench.
I think Kevin Willis was at the second championship.
Otis Thorpe was on the first one.
Somebody
then the
with
second
pipes.
one. Yeah, Otis Thorpe on the first one because Otis Thorpe, Hakeem Olajuwon, Robert Horry in the front court, Kenny Smith, Vernon Maxwell. And then the next year they trade for Clyde Drexler. They became the first number 1 6 seed to win a championship. Remember that? They were the 6 seed. They beat Utah in the 3-6 matchup.
But I think what he's trying to get at, and what I would say is that you do have to have some semblance of balance on the court.
I thought about that, and that's why in the offseason.
It's a great stat that he threw there.
This is crazy. This is how delusional I've been. This is how much I needed to get out the house the last 2 days. I'm just watching everything. I'm reading everything. And I'm looking at Milwaukee, and I'm like, You know, all the Giannis Antetokounmpo rumors were running rampant a couple years ago. Yeah. And I'm watching the Warriors last, and I said, damn, it'd be good. They need a guy at some point. Maybe not this year. But they got to get a guy who could just get to the cup and get you some easy baskets.
Well, ISO out and just blow by somebody?
The balance. Alex is right on the money. He's right on the money. They played the Orlando Magic, or excuse me, they played the Atlanta Hawks in a double overtime game. They had 59 threes. It was just 3-point crazy, right?
Way too many.
All right. They attempt 40 the next night against the Pistons. They've been over at least 40 this homestand. And then you look at the Magic game, I feel like the Orlando Magic game in the entire first half was nothing but threes.
Can I ask you why that is? Because to me, I'm looking at it and I'm saying, I think a portion of it is they settle because they have tired legs.
They settle because of tired legs, and they settle because they have nobody who could really dribble, drive, who could dribble, drive, and penetrate.
And they
how many guys do they have? Steph?
When was the last time they had a baseline guy go for a dunk? When was the last time we saw a high-low play where Draymond's throwing an alley-oop to a leaping guy?
It's been a long time.
From the dunker spot.
It's been a long, long time.
Right? They all want to run to the corner or to the outside. So
it's been a long, long time. Long, long time. By the way, 957thegameshop.com, 957thegameshop.com. Go out and get some gear, because I got a story for you, Shasky. And I'm disappointed I didn't get to meet him over the weekend. Sundays when I started feeling the bubble guts at the Niners game, and it was not good for your boy for the next 2 nights. Never heard of this thing called norovirus, but that's what your boy was dealing with.
Oh.
I was back. I could have probably toughed it out yesterday, but I want to give a shout out to Larry Seiler. Larry Seiler, all right, from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Larry Seiler, big-time roaster, came to the Bay Area last week. Big fan. Listen what he said December 30th. Big fan of the show. My 95-70 game merchandise will be in before we leave Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to attend the Warriors and Cardinals games. So he did the double dip at Chase, and he went to Levi's. Hoping I somehow run into you and Joe and respectfully request an autograph. Larry Seiler, my identity. Let's go Niners. Let's go Warriors. So I said, hey, man, sorry I couldn't catch up with you. But he said, you know what? Thanks for getting back to me. I missed Candlestick. I missed that blue-collar stadium, but it was good to be out to the Bay. But Larry Seiler, all the way in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
Buying gear on 9570gameshop.com. And he sent me a photo with the 9570 Game t-shirt.
Did you see the new one they whipped up for this week?
The Bosa?
DPOY?
Yeah, the Bosa. The Bosa. Sick.
It's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. Bosa having a great year. You know, I know we're going to get into Bosa. We're going to get into Purdy. We're going to get into McCaffrey. It feels like nobody's really talking about the season Brandon Ayuk had.
Well, I think he had a really nice season. He had 8 touchdowns, 1,000 yards, 78 catches.
Think about the first-round picks that the Niners have spent
on
wide receivers, and have done nothing.
I know.
I mean, if Brandon Ayuk, say if the Niners make a deep run in the postseason,
he had a better year than Debo.
Wait, I told you, Trady Kid, he's the best route runner on the team.
Yeah,
he's the best pure wide receiver on the football team. People said that's crazy. Debo's on his team. Talk to me now. Brandon Ayuk's the best pure wide receiver on this football team. Hands down, his route running is so much better than Debo's. It's not even funny. And I love Debo.
Yeah.
But you look at all the first-round picks they've had, second-round picks. Let's get into that on the other side after we take Austin on the Warriors. Let's wrap up Warriors because I got some thoughts on Ayuk. We'll get to Bosa because Bosa was special. Shanahan was special. I'm so pumped up about Saturday. Austin, what's happening? You're on the roast.
Ain't nothing much going to work. Good morning, y'all. Man, hey, Vontae, look, man, I told y'all, man, I made a comment about Wiggins and Curry coming off the bench and knocking the rust off. It ain't about figuring out lineups. It's about y'all bench. Y'all bench of the core is hot. So why not bring them off the bench, especially if Phoenix is they ain't playing none of their starters. I mean, like, come on, nobody want to see nobody throwing up rusty shots, and then all of a sudden they want to start kicking it in the fourth quarter. Then you go bring Andre Rusty Butto in the game. Like, come on, man, that don't make no sense. Steve Kerr, come on, man. Let's roll the dice a little bit. Why the bench is on fire?
But Shasky, before we go to break, and thanks for the call, Austin. Good to hear from you. Isn't it kind of fitting that they lost that game to close out the first half of the season with the way this season has played out so far? Wasn't that a fitting end to the first half of the season?
Yeah, leaving me frustrated. Well, of course.
I mean, just tumultuous. It's just an advert, like everything from training camp to the youngsters. It's just been a nightmare.
Bonte, this regular season is very confusing. I don't know what to make of this team. I want to give them the earned benefit of the doubt that they have clearly earned, but at the same time, I'm watching every night with my eyeballs, and I'm saying, this doesn't look right.
No.
They don't play good enough defense. No. They don't attack the rim. They're not athletic enough. Long teams give them problems because they're a jump shooting team. They're injured. Like, they're old. They don't play their young players. Like, there's a lot going on.
And now you got Sean Devaney bringing up LeBron James trades of Heavy Sports. Sean Devaney talking about, hey, man, what if the Warriors and LeBron James wants to play with the Warriors? It could be worth considering. You could trade Kuminga, Wiseman, Moody, Baldwin, or Poole or Wiggins for LeBron James. How about that? That's what we need is a LeBron James rumor around here.